right, we here. Let's jump it off. Yeah. Yo, we here. Let's go. We got a special guest, the motherfucking Trap Car, episode 17. The captain, Desco, and our special guest, my guy, my brother, Tony Moxberg.
Do it for the suckers and the non-believers. And my mom who has cancer, rocking the season. Used to be cold nights like we live.
Clap it up. Let's go, man.
What up?
Mox, what's up, man? We appreciate you coming through, fucking with us.
Good looking out.
Real sports dude right here. We always talk sports all the time amongst every other things and all of that. So it's only right that he's here. And you know why we got you here first subject, right? You know what's going down, right?
Yeah. We've been talking about it.
Yeah, man.
Because I was like, yo, son be really talking at his shit when it comes to his squad. And it ain't just a fan favorite. Like, he really
live Pats guy.
I be paying attention. I'm like, oh, nah, we got to get him up there.
That's a fact, man. So let's spark it up. How you feel about that Patriots Titans game, man? Wild card weekend.
I'm going to take it a step before that.
Okay.
We should have never lost to the Dolphins, and we would have never even had to play the Titans. We would have had the bye week.
That's a fact.
So that's why every game is so important. Even though the Dolphins are the fucking worst team in the league or whatever they are. But
same division.
Yeah, but I mean, I just think they slept. I really think they slept that game and really didn't care until it was too late.
But two reasons. You know why that happened? 2 reasons. Well, 3. Like you said, they slept. 2, Flores from the Patriots and division game. So that's like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
You sleep on a division opponent. You're facing a guy who would come from your organization, and they're in your same division.
Yeah.
You got to play them twice a year. Like that's tough.
But that was the first fuck up.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And then with the Titans, I ain't gonna lie, I would have bet the house. I would have bet. They costed me a lot of money. I had like a $3,800 ticket. I just needed them to win money line to win everything.
And you
else
money
hit.
lined them.
I money lined them. Everything else hit.
Yeah, I wouldn't have took them with the points. That was smart.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really take too many teams with points unless like.
Unless you feel it's a short
like
shot,
I took the Minnesota Vikings with the points.
Yeah, well they get 7. They
got 7 with New Orleans, and I took the points.
They're getting 7 today too. I think that's still high.
I think it's very high, especially in the playoffs. I think the Titans are getting too many points. 10 points against
10
the
points, yeah, 10 points.
10 points in the playoffs is crazy.
And they're a run team.
Who are you playing?
They're a run team.
Yeah, that's
so you keep feeding Henry the rock.
That's what I say. Even if you lose, you're not gonna lose.
Yeah,
they
that's 2 different possessions. Like it ain't gonna be that many possessions. You ain't gonna have the ball that many times to keep scoring, unless he starts turning the ball over. We don't know what's gonna happen, but. In like, you know what I'm saying?
But just logically thinking of it, you shouldn't.
That's like a gamble on the gamble.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, I would take
10?
Tennessee. Yeah,
10. It's 10 for that, 7 for the Vikings. I think all of them are too much.
I think the Vikings game is definitely going over.
I say over. That's 44, right?
Yeah.
I say over on that too.
45, whatever it is, I think it's going over.
My man Matt, shout out to Matt too. Matt just hit me asking me that. I said, yo, I wouldn't even touch it, but if I had to, I'm taking the over because I feel like they're both 2 good defenses, but I feel like they're gonna be able to put up 20-something points.
And they have to.
Yeah.
Whoever wants to win is gonna have to score.
Yeah,
definitely. Definitely so.
But back to the Patriots.
Yeah, man. I was rooting for them because I'm a Niner fan diehard, right? So I don't like. I'm not a Giants fan. I'm not a Jets fan. So I don't dislike the Patriots.
Yeah.
I never have. I like greatness. I like Tom Brady. I'm always a Brady fan because I feel like I've always been an underdog with shit, and he 6th round draft pick underdog who became the best to ever do it. So like I love that fire and chip he plays with all the time. So
that's the shit I don't like. I don't like people that
discredit
dislike somebody because of how good they are.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't like he was like born and just became this fucking superstar.
Yeah.
He worked his ass off. You don't see all the film and his high school and college. You don't see all that, how he was on the bench working every single day to get that good.
Bro, you don't
just get that good.
Nah.
And you don't become in the conversation of being the best ever. Now it's solidified, but even just been in the conversation years back, right? You don't even get to that level coming into the league as a 6th round draft pick without putting in the work. Extra work. Like he's worked his ass off to get where he's at.
You know.
So, go ahead, let's hear it from a Giants guy.
Ocho Cinco, when he went over there, and you seen the struggle and learning that system, is when I really took like him. Troy Brown used to be a receiver over there, right?
Yeah, Troy Brown.
Anybody that's been in that system and succeeded, it was like I looked at those individual players on a higher, like they were.
And that's why I feel like Brady's having such a problem now because all the receivers and the people that are around him don't know that system yet.
Yeah, he
Too
only
good,
got
like
he only
Nikhil
really got
Cat.
Edelman.
And or they're not going to be able to grasp it because, like I said, we know Ochocinco was something great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he even said
couldn't-
it was
yeah,
too much for him.
Yeah.
Too much to learn.
The
That's how I
schematics,
knew-
the schematics is crazy, bro.
That's how I knew this year it wasn't going to happen. I knew it wasn't going to happen, and that probably happened like week 6, 7. I was like, all right, the defense. Don't get me wrong, the defense was fucking
Yeah.
elite.
But you got to score.
That offense,
You have to score.
one without that tight end, and they don't have a system where you can really plug any tight end. They just had really good tight ends,
Yeah.
and then one great one. So I already knew. I was like, nah, if they don't, when they got AB, I said, oh, nah, it's over. They're gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That lasted 1 week.
That lasted 1 week.
But I knew that was gonna happen once that allegation
That
came
second-
out.
yeah, that-
it was over.
Yeah, it was
Sexual
right. Nobody
harassment
want to
shit.
deal with all
Yeah,
the
you can't.
off the field
It's
shit
too
that was
much
gonna
shit
come.
with him.
But that's why I said, oh, nah, it's over.
But the
It
crazy
was
shit
over.
is, you notice that charge that they brought up against him, it wasn't no criminal charge.
No,
No,
it
it
was
went
just like a
straight
civil.
Yeah, it went straight civil.
And then as soon as he got dropped, no one heard about it anymore.
Nah, yeah.
This shit just died out.
Uh-huh.
So it's almost like even though
Sabotage.
he's wild,
He could've
he
been
got to
in.
get rid of his social media. Like
Yeah.
him and Trump on the same level.
Yeah,
social
he's
media.
just
he
out
got
of
to get rid of
control.
his social media.
yeah, he's
but
bugged out.
it's almost like a conspiracy again. If they don't want you in that league, they're not going to put you in the league.
Yeah.
It's
Nah,
done.
that's point blank.
I don't
yeah.
care like what it is, how good you are, and they prove that. Oh, you're gonna talk about the NFL. Once he started talking about the NFL,
Yeah,
this
he
and that,
blew his
myself,
own
That's
shit.
it. Because
I-
that's
Shot
the
himself in the
motto
foot.
they go by. The shield is more important than everybody,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it really is. And not for nothing, I respect it because being an artist, the brand is more important than any individual
100%.
involved. You know what I'm saying? So if you tarnish the brand, you tarnish everybody. It's a crumble. It's a crumble effect.
100%.
They have to protect the brand. So I get it. You know what I mean?
I blame the people around him.
Definitely
Like,
so.
Yeah,
he
dead
got
ass.
like a bunch of yes men around him, or people. You know what I'm saying? He got all the money. He's the breadwinner, so they're just gonna agree with everything. And
Sudan brought up a good point. When that mustache.
I
That's when
was
you
just
knew-
gonna say that too.
Yeah.
Yo, dead ass. When I knew someone, when he did that shit, I said, nah, he's just going too over the
Yeah,
top.
nah, his man's ain't his man's. Like,
Yeah,
I'd
like,
have been like,
he
he came
going
out the
so
bathroom
over
with
the
a
Or
blind
he might-
mustache.
yeah.
It's over.
Oh yeah, he's crazy. Or he might have some kind of issues.
That
we
was
don't know
something.
about.
That was
That's what-
something. That was something.
See,
I
you were
voiced.
saying that, man. But
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I'm not giving him that pass, man. He might, but I'm not giving every rich motherfucker who bug out a mental
Nah,
disability.
you know what
pass.
it is.
You gotta
What
really
it
look
ain't
at this
just
shit,
it ain't
man.
just a poor person thing. Like
Nah, I
mental
know,
illness
yeah,
can hit
it
anybody.
is. It is, but
And
I just
I
think
still think he got it.
I just think
something
he's
wrong.
that egotistical, man. Like a lot of they'll tell they tell you in the NFL, man, yo, receivers is divas, man. And you become the top dog, and then he felt slighted, right? So he felt like his organization took somebody over him with the Big Ben shit over him. So now he's out there like, man, I'm the big catch here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I knew that shit from the Raiders was not gonna work because if you seen Hard Knocks, they was fucking sucking his dick off pause. Like, they couldn't wait for him to get in the building. And you can't give somebody the red carpet like that. You know what I'm saying? That's already a head case and shit. You gotta have struck. That's why in New England, if that shit didn't happen, it would have worked. Because Belichick don't give a fuck. He'll say, I'll cut you. You
Yeah.
act up. Fuck you. We don't need you.
And I think it was working with New England. Like,
Yeah.
I think they gave him a shot.
Hell yeah, it
Kraft
would have
probably
worked.
was like, you know what? We're gonna take a chance with him, with the discipline and all that. He'll probably listen because he's gonna be on a team that he thinks is gonna go to the Super Bowl and win. So he's gonna fuck with him. But then that second allegation came out, it was over.
Yeah.
And a lot of these receivers want to play with Tom. It ain't just the Patriots.
Hell
A lot of
Who
them want to
wouldn't?
play with. Yeah, because
It's
one,
like
he's
playing
gonna.
with fucking Jordan when he
Yeah,
was on the
that's-
Wizards. You still wanted to play with him.
You still want to play with him.
That's a fact.
So it just. But like I said, once those receivers, and I don't know about the rookie. Like he really didn't even have the time because he was hurt most of the year, right?
Week
Nick
11,
Hill?
they got him. Week
Yeah.
11.
So I feel like maybe next year, but ain't no telling.
All
Like,
right,
ain't
so
no
let's
telling.
see. But before we get to next year and that, what do you think went wrong in that game with the Titans?
Dog. The one play that killed it for me. First of all, their offense wasn't even scoring. Their defense held it.
Yeah.
Because all the way up to the
14
last
points.
second, last couple seconds of the game, 14 points. That's great in a playoff game.
Hell yeah.
So if you put up 14 against me, I'm thinking my team's going to win.
Definitely.
That's one. Two, the shit that killed me, even if you go all the way to the end, was when Edelman dropped that third down pass.
Yo, that's
that
what.
was bugged
destroyed
out.
3rd and 6.
Dog,
Yeah.
destroyed
3rd and
me.
6. They were gonna drive,
Dog.
put up points, and
their defense would have held it, and
solidify
it
it.
would have been over.
That's it.
Dog, that shit, it took everything out of me,
Yeah,
dog.
I think it took everything out of Brady, out of the stadium,
Edelman,
because
out
they
of
knew that
everybody.
was
Pulled
it.
the light. And
Dog,
it's that's what I'm saying.
I was seeing
The
his
fact that it
comments.
was
People were
Edelman.
like, "We love you, but fuck you,
Yeah.
go fuck your mother."
We love you, but
death
fuck you.
threats. I said, "Oh, it ain't even that serious."
Yo,
dog."
it was crazy. You
But-
know what that made me feel like? Even though it was bigger circumstances for us, when we played you fucks in the NFC title game, and Ted Williams? Is it Ted? Damn, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Williams. I don't know if his name was Ted. Homie wore number 10 for us.
Kerry, I think. Karen?
Nah.
I know the punt returner.
Yeah, but he dropped the shit twice.
Yeah,
twice. On a kickoff and then on a punt, and you guys recovered and won the fucking NFC.
That's when the ball hit his leg.
Yeah.
Yo,
I was going crazy. Then I'm in Delani's house. Dog, they got pictures of me damn near about to cry. I was so mad. I'm like, now I would never throw a death threat his way, but I understand the fans' frustration with that because it's like, yo, bro, like how the fuck and twice in one game? That's how it felt.
And the crazy, what got me mad was Edelman is so clutch, but as of late he's been dropping passes for but I also know he's not playing 100%.
Yeah, he's always beat up.
So he's at 50-60% still giving it all. You know what I'm saying? His all. So I respect it. But you can't drop that pass.
No, you can't.
Cannot drop
not open like that too.
Open the shit.
He had a lot on
it
his
was a bubble screen
Dog,
basically that he went out.
Perfect.
A bubble screen that he went upfield with. There's nobody there. So if somebody's there and they deflect, that's not really on you. You still should grab it. You get 2 hands on it. But nobody in sight.
You get a first down right there. And Brady, and they're like the best with clock management. So they're gonna drain the shit out of that clock and keep marching.
Yeah, and there already wasn't a lot of clock left. So like they weren't even gonna leave the Titans with any time to put nothing on the field anyway.
The most a minute, if that.
Yeah, I think maybe less because it was already like 2-something at that time.
Yeah,
and I think Tannehill only threw for 70 yards.
And they were down 1. They only needed a field goal to ice it. You know what I'm saying? So if you bring it down to 30 seconds, and even some in that vicinity, they got no timeouts left. Game's over if you hit the field.
And that defense steps up, and they ain't gonna run the ball with Henry.
Yeah,
with
you
30
can't.
seconds
And
left, a minute left.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So now Tannehill has to throw the ball.
I'll take my chances
exactly.
with that.
Yeah, and especially again, he only threw for 70 yards that whole game. So you talking about the last 30 seconds? Now you want him to march all the way down the field?
That
wasn't happening.
So that's my whole shit.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever happens during the game, it is what it is.
Yeah.
One, and you can't really base a game on one
I
play.
was gonna say that. I'll never be the guy to be like one play ruins it, but one play.
That shit ruined
that
it,
was
dog.
the one play.
That fucked it up.
It might be 99%.
So you think the dynasty's over? You think Brady's moving on, or you think he's gonna stay?
He would never go out like that.
I know he's gonna play.
No, he's playing with the Patriots.
You think he's gonna stay with the Pats?
They already having talks.
I think he's
gonna
gonna
stay 2 more
stay.
years.
I think he's gonna stay.
And they supposedly having talks of getting him help, like receivers like Beckham.
I think he's gonna stay.
In the rumors.
Yeah, they bet.
You think he's gonna stay? Or he's going?
I can't see him leaving.
I
don't think he wants to go out
with a different team.
I
think he's like a Kobe.
Yeah, I think
Kobe, Derek Jeter, like.
I think they're gonna sit down. They're already talking about. I think they're gonna come to a common ground where they're gonna say, look, even if it has to be a year-to-year basis, we don't gotta sign a 2-3 year. I'll sign this year with an option again after next year. Like LeBron did that for how many years?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think Belichick, I don't think he's opposed to it. Like as much as the media makes it seem like he wanted him gone, I don't believe that as much. I feel like he just knows.
I think they have some kind of issues
behind closed
issues. Doors, and that's because of Brady's coach, Brady's Gonzalez.
Yeah, the TB12 dude.
That dude.
Yeah.
They have issues with that dude. Like they won't let anybody else on the Patriots team work with that dude. Yep. So it's like a lot of shit. They won't let him on the field anymore. Belichick got his pass revoked.
Oh yeah.
So it's like wild shit going on.
Yeah,
but Brady ain't listening.
You know that? That's like if we in a group together and one of my right hand mans and you don't got an issue, but we still got to work together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna cause tension between us, even though the love is there too. Mm-hmm. So I get it, but I think they'll work it out.
Yeah, they ain't gonna let that fuck up their dynasty.
And I think the fact that Belichick, you can't read him, and that makes a lot of people like come up with shit like, oh nah, this shit is over because look at how, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And the media wants that shit to be over because it's good for them.
And all that.
It's good for them. Now I think they're gonna give it one more shot at least.
100%.
Next year, and like you said, I think they're gonna try to get him help in the off season because they're a team that doesn't build off the draft like that, right? Mm-hmm. They're not they'd rather a 70 overall 70 guy who's a proven veteran than a potential 90 guy who's a rookie who might bust. They don't want to take that gamble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're in win now mode, you shouldn't take that gamble because some people just are not going to be good as rookies, bro.
They're worried about the future, but they're also worried about getting Tom his last ring before he leaves.
Yeah.
So it's like now or never for them.
And they don't even know what's up with Belichick too. They might walk together. You know what I'm saying? I don't think so.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
But I'm just saying, like, you want to utilize your chips now. Like, you know, it's like you play poker and any time you gamble with anything, you can't always think about gambling. You can't think about tomorrow sometimes. You got to go right now. Like, this is the safe bet. We got to do it for now. That's why I respect Daryl Morey when people be hating on Morey. He goes for the chips. He's like, I'm not here to be a number 4 seed in the West all the time. I'm here to dethrone Golden State. So he went for it. It didn't happen. They got close, but he went for it. I respect somebody that's going to go for it as opposed to just saying, I'll be a middle of the tier guy. Like that, what the fuck? What's the difference between the Jazz? But that's what I'm saying. What's the difference between the Jazz and then the Minnesota? Like, who cares if you were the 5 seed or the 9 seed? Nobody remembers none of them. But you know what I'm saying? None of that shit matters.
True indeed.
All right, we got games today, man. You see, I'm fucking draped out, man. Bang bang Niner gang. Who you got?
Who y'all play?
The Vikings.
Y'all gonna get dusted.
All right.
Y'all gonna get dusted today.
All right.
They riding high. No, I'm gonna take the Vikings.
All right.
Yeah.
They're hot, but I'm taking the Niners.
I got the Niners.
Got the Niners. I got the over. I like the Vikings
with the points.
With the points. I'm actually teasing the Vikings. I'm making the plus 14.
Oh yeah,
so
that's
I definitely don't think they're gonna.
That's solid. Not by that. So, I would take the Vikings with the points. To be honest, I would take the over.
Alexander
like you said.
playing?
Quan's back. Jaquiski Tartt's back. D Ford's back. Our defense is full.
Nobody's missing this game.
Yeah.
You'll have to take them out on the stretch.
Jimmy Ward. Everybody's in.
I'm still gonna take Minnesota though.
I'm not sleeping on Minnesota.
Minnesota's a dope team.
Remember I said in the last episode, I said I think the Saints are just going to squeeze by only because at home. But everybody was kind of giving them no shot, the Vikings. And I'm like, yo, the Vikings are a good, solid team. And I've always believed in Kirk Cousins.
Dalvin Cook.
I watched college. He was good in fucking Michigan
One thing
State.
I don't like about the Vikings is when Diggs don't get the ball, he starts crying.
Yeah.
And he does it on the field in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I saw.
But I understand you getting frustrated and all that. But if you're getting double teamed in this, what you want to do? Throw interceptions towards you?
If anything, that's helping, right?
Ain't a double team supposed to help? Yeah, should open somebody else.
I guess when you're that like good, and I respect it because he wants the ball, and he ain't gonna be dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying? But if your team is winning and everyone's catching the ball around you,
that's all that matters.
Like,
that's
next week you got another week now.
Yeah,
like, you'll probably catch some passes today. It is what it is.
That might be the fresh guy because you ain't getting banged up like that.
But you can't sit there and cry on the field, and you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that fucks up the chemistry.
But I get that they wear their emotions and all that, but
it's the heat.
Dude, that's like me now with my daughter being 4. She's playing softball, basketball, soccer. She's played so far. I tell her all the time, the shit that matters is defense. You know why? Because that's the shit nobody. They're not looking. They're not thinking about it. But that's the shit that wins games. I said, be the selfless player. So even at this age playing T-ball, she was out there. She was the best fielder on the field every time. Not the best hitter all the time. There's some kids that had that power. They were decent hitter, but the best fielder every time because it's effort. It's like that's why they say in basketball, person that don't play good defense is only because of effort. It's not because they can't. It's they not fucking putting that effort for.
Yep, they're lazy.
They lazy. All right, so 2 Niners, 1 Vikings. You're gonna lose. I'm sorry. Who else? Baltimore and the Titans, right? Yeah. Who you got, Mox?
Same thing over here. I like Baltimore. I like the Titans with the points. If you're gambling, I take Tennessee with 10.
10 is a lot. I would do the same too, but I think Baltimore wins that game.
Exactly.
And I honestly, I don't. What's the under over on that one? Do you know?
I don't even know.
I don't know that one either. So I wouldn't touch it.
For one, for two. We really can't sleep on Tennessee though, because if they keep feeding Henry the ball, and he starts getting those yards and killing that clock and scoring the way he did the Patriots, and that's the number 1 defense.
I think that's their only opportunity to stay in the game.
Yeah, Tannehill ain't throwing for 5 touchdowns.
Keep Lamar off the field as much as you can. Run that rock, and you're not. It's going to be real hard to stop Henry. Even flooding the box is going to be stopped. Secondly, that opens up play action passes. Tannehill go down the field.
He's a big boy,
and they got Brown there.
They were showing him next to. Not to cut you off. They were showing him next to the average running back.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like double dude size.
Yo,
like
6'3.5", maybe 6'4", 245, bro. 240.
I told him, you know who he reminds me of? Brandon Jacobs. Jacobs is 6'4",
but he's more talented.
268. Like that's what I'm saying. But the size wise is
you ever notice every time they hit him, he gets 3-4 more yards before he falls.
And he runs upright.
Yeah. So he's falling 3-4. So you get at 3-4 yards. Even if you stop him at the line, he's
still getting the 3.
You literally got to trip him up by the ankles, or else you got no shot.
Or 2 people got to hit him at the same exact time.
And he still might bounce off him. He's a beast. In Alabama, he was like that though too. And they had a running back by committee. So he was their main horse, but there was other people getting that ball. Here,
Yeah, they had about 3 or 4 running
yeah,
back,
they had
right?
a couple.
They always do. But here, he's the man.
Yeah.
It's over.
I forgot about.
You know, if you could
Lewis.
beat the fucking New England Patriots with your quarterback throwing for fucking less than 100 yards, that's something special. We ain't see a running back do no shit like that in a while.
In the first quarter when they were feeding him the rock and he was just running, I said, "Oh, it's gonna be a problem today."
Mm-hmm.
When he was running all over the place, it wasn't a problem because like they only scored 14 points. The problem was they were draining that clock.
Draining the
They
clock.
I was gonna
drained
say,
off
what-
the fucking
What was the
And-
possession like? Do you guys know?
And you
the
know
time
what?
of
You
possession
know
was
what is the biggest part of doing that too, and that can work for them today. Is not only are you keeping their best player off the
keeping that
field,
defense so
that
tired.
defense is so
Drained.
tired, yo.
Dog, if
Fourth
you
quarter,
go
they
if
was
you go
done.
3 downs and then get a first, then do it again.
Yep.
And then again and again, and you're just killing. And that defense, that defense is 300-pound men on
Yeah.
that field. You know what I'm saying? They're like drained. I don't give a fuck how much you work
Yeah,
out.
don't
There
matter.
was a point where they was trying to shuffle, and it was like, yo, it still ain't gonna help. Like my man only gonna get 2 plays off, and then he got to come right back out
Exactly.
here. Oxygen, it ain't gonna help.
Nah, that's crazy. All right,
Yeah,
so
they controlled the fuck out the clock.
B more. You got B more?
Yeah, I can't.
I got B more too. Pulling
got
that.
And again, you know, I've been supporting Tennessee because I see the change, and I
Yeah.
saw the defense was something serious. They got that AJ Brown?
Brown, yeah.
That
I
kid is
respect
good,
it. I
He's
respect
nice.
the underdogs.
but
You know what I'm saying? And I'm
It's
always
just hard,
rooting for
man.
underdogs. But
You gotta
you
go
gotta
with
give
you gotta
you gotta
go.
give like credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Like
Lamar's
you know
definitely the MVP.
what I'm saying? Yeah. Without
Like,
a doubt.
There's no
hands
question.
down.
It should be unanimous this year. Because Russell had a great first half, but he didn't do shit the second half. All right, so tomorrow we got Seattle and Green Bay. Who you got?
I'm gonna go Green Bay.
Green Bay, okay.
I'm going Green Bay at home.
All right, betting wise, would you take them?
Either money line or buy a few points on Seattle.
You got to buy. I was going to say,
I'm buying a few points. Like I like making them. Whoever I take, I'm giving you guys a little
edge. Yeah, you need that.
You have to.
Leeway.
What are they +5?
I think it's I think it was 4.5 last
You
I
got to
checked.
make them +7.5. So you would have to buy 3 points
Yeah.
on Seattle. I don't see them losing by more than a touchdown.
7.5 would be good because a touchdown they would still win.
Yeah, they still win. Or I would take Green Bay money line.
I'm gonna be honest, as a betting dude, I wouldn't touch the game. It's just too iffy, those two teams for me. I don't believe in Green Bay, and I don't think Seattle's that good, but I do believe in them. So like it's like the opposite. Like I think Green Bay is not as good as they seem, and I feel Seattle's better than people give them credit for.
I just think Green Bay had a week to rest. Right? They had a week.
Yeah.
Had a week to rest. They're at home. I just feel like they got something to prove.
I got Green Bay too because Seattle doesn't have a run game.
Yeah.
They don't have a run game, and Russell Wilson can't do magic for fucking the whole game. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, to be honest, I'm kind of secretly rooting for Green Bay because I feel like even though I don't want to face Seattle for the third time. I feel like we're the better team whether we match up against Green Bay or Seattle, but they are division foe.
Yeah.
Both games went down to the wire, and seeing them 3 times, like I just don't. I'd rather put our
You go either way.
yeah. I mean, then you got to face Aaron, which he's great, but I just feel like our defense will dominate.
Yeah, that defense will
We
crush
did it
them.
the first game. We played them. We beat the
That
shit
defense
out
will
of them.
crush them.
Oh shit, Thielen got hurt, right?
He's playing.
Yeah, he ain't-
He's playing. His ankle. He
What,
cut
he
his
got
ankle at
stitches?
practice. Yeah, stitches.
Man, listen.
He's playing.
They're going to have to cut his leg off for him not to play.
Yeah.
They're going to wrap that shit so good, give him a shot or two.
Mm-hmm. He's
Back on
good.
the
They
field.
already announced it too. They didn't even say like game decision. Not like he's
Probable,
playing.
he's in.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What about Green Bay?
That I don't
the
believe in?
defense or the offense?
All right. I kind of don't. I feel like they're gonna resort. It's gonna show in the playoffs. Probably if not this game, if they make it past this game in the next game, what's gonna happen is their defense isn't as good as they got credit for all year, right? And when it showed against us, we fucking smoked them. It wasn't even a close game. We dominated them the whole game. So when that happens and Jones don't get running, they're gonna resort back to Aaron Rodgers doing magic shit all day, and you can't do that in the playoffs all day. He has a losing record in the playoffs his whole
Not
career.
even in the playoffs or a regular game, you just can't do that against a good defense.
Against a
all
good
day.
team, yeah.
You can't, like, you can do that with the scrubs and all that, and run around and have a field day out there. When you're playing a solid defense,
Yep.
like the Niners, or even a solid team, a solid coaching staff,
Yep.
it's way harder to get those plays off. Like, so it
The
really
adjustments are gonna kick in,
Yeah,
and then
like,
this shit blown.
and he can't do everything by himself. He can't throw the ball to himself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's why I think it might show this game.
he might
but
have
it
a
might
problem
not.
this game. I was gonna
That's
say
what I
that.
say.
He
It
might
might
have a problem this game.
But that's what I don't believe about Green Bay. I feel like they're gonna resort to their old self when things don't work. Because basically, the reason why they 13-3 this year is because the defense worked a lot of the time, and Jones was a stud for most of the year. But if you stop that, if you stop the run, everything changes. Because now, if you don't hit passes, the clock's stopping, you're getting off the field, and your defense getting back on the field. And guess what? By the third quarter, your defense is looking like fucking scrubs because they're so tired out there, they're getting the shit beat out of them. So I don't believe in Green Bay. I really don't. But they might. I do believe they might have enough to get past Seattle. I would take them. It's still a pick 'em to me, though.
I think whoever wins, the Niners are gonna beat.
My
personal opinion.
I think we should, and I would hope so, being a Niner fan.
Yeah, right.
I think we match up good with. I think we just match up better with Green Bay because I feel like Seattle, they'll fight. Where I feel like Green Bay, like just from watching the game, we just had our way with them. Like we tossed them around. We were just
I would also think
tougher
that
team.
they're gonna make adjustments.
Yeah, they're gonna.
So especially in the playoffs, but
They're gonna.
if
I
you
just don't think they're as tough as us.
If you just look at who's better, the Niners are a way better team than both of them.
I think so too.
It's just, how are they gonna play that game?
Yeah, can we execute, and can their adjustments matter enough to keep any team close? Well, Seattle played us close every time. They beat us once and we beat them once, both close games. But Green Bay, I still take Green Bay. Who's the other game tomorrow? Oh, the Chiefs and
Houston.
Houston. That's a good game right there.
I don't think so, man.
Now you think the Chiefs gonna blow them?
Chiefs gonna smoke
I
them.
think they're gonna kill them.
Yeah,
But that spread is also high.
All right, here I go. I'm taking the upset. I'm taking Houston. I think Deshaun is the better quarterback.
What it is like a 10-point spread. I don't think any team that was given 10 points ever won the game in the playoffs. I might be wrong.
We're gonna have to
quote
check
me.
that one up.
But
Yeah, word.
no team ever getting 10 points away has won in the playoffs.
Yeah,
I mean, but you never know. I just don't see it.
I'm going Houston. I know I'm the minority here, but I'm going Houston. I just believe in Deshaun more than I believe in Mahomes. And I know that sounds crazy to a lot of people, but
I don't know
I
about
do.
that.
He's got magic, man. That kid's got magic.
It was the Bills, bro.
Yeah.
It's not
so
that.
Mahomes has no magic?
I haven't seen Mahomes have magic in big
Son is
games.
the white chocolate of the NFL.
I haven't
man.
seen him have magic in big games.
Nah, man. I gotta disagree.
The defense is a lot better.
Listen, man, I seen Deshaun Watson do it on the national level against Alabama when they were supposed to get their ass kicked.
Yes, but that's college. You can't. The NFL's a different ball game.
It's a different ball game, but I ain't seen Mahomes. I haven't seen it in the big game. I haven't seen it in the
You
big
gotta see
game
it
with
tomorrow.
Mahomes.
Yeah, tomorrow's the day.
You gotta see it tomorrow.
We'll see.
He tweeting it right now.
We'll see.
Casket, I got you.
We'll
Tomorrow's
see.
the day.
Listen, I don't take nothing from him. I think he's great. He deserved the MVP last year. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, if not 3. You know what I'm saying? But I just believe in Deshaun. You know, we've had this discussion all year
Yeah.
about that. You were always a Jackson guy. You were the first one on the Jackson wagon early in the year when people weren't really on him. I was Deshaun, and most people, the majority, I would say, is Pat Mahomes. But that one's iffy, man.
The only thing that bothers me about Kansas City is they don't utilize all the weapons they got.
They haven't all been healthy either.
Well, I'm talking about the kids that filled in for Hill when he wasn't there. What was it McCole and the other fast kid? I forgot his name.
I forget his name too.
But once Hill came back, it was like that was it for them. I was like, if you spread that ball off enough,
Yeah, they got a lot of
Kelsey
weapons.
gonna get wide open in the middle.
It's almost like Kelsey gets wide open.
Yeah, he
Regardless,
does.
yeah,
Play
he's
whenever he wants.
Him
the
and
ball.
Kittle are like neck
He's
to
getting the
neck.
ball.
Yeah, I give Kittle the edge because Kittle is just a beast on the block and everything too. Like pass blocking, run blocking. He don't give a fuck.
Kittle's a different kind
He's
of
an animal, man.
That
I be telling my
clip we
cousin
looked
Mark.
at where he was laughing as he was,
Shout out
son
to my
is
cousin
wild.
Mark too. He was supposed to come down and watch the game with me in front of
Wild
them.
boy.
But I tell him all the time, Kittle reminds me of him. That's how he was like in high school and shit.
That's hard.
All right, so that's our predictions, man. That's our predictions. Now, first of all, I know we weren't gonna bring this up, but how you feel about your Knicks, man? You a Knicks guy?
Yeah.
Dude, we got a wager going on. I don't know if you've seen. He made a wager before the beginning of the season that
No
they were
less
gonna
than 30
win.
wins.
Yeah, more than 30 wins. I said no fucking way.
Stop trying to twist my word. I said no less than 30.
Okay, that's
Now-
more
now-
than 30. No less is more than. What the fuck you mean?
No, I want you to leave it at that. 'cause
Tomato,
I know
tomato,
I
same
know how
shit.
tricky you are. We're gonna say no
All
less
right.
than 30.
And I said no way. I didn't even think they were gonna get 25.
Where they at now?
I don't know.
11 maybe. They're bad.
Even 11?
They're bad.
Bro, I went to the Knicks game, 2 weeks ago? And I'm a Knicks fan. I only knew like 2 players.
Yeah.
I was mad at myself, mad at them, mad at everything. I was just sitting there. The game was so whack, but we were like right on the floor, and I wasn't having a good time. And I love sports. I love the NBA. My luck, KD's out and Kyrie's out.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there watching their scrubs play our scrubs.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, I'm just watching. It's like a shirts
It's
versus
really,
skins. Like, I'm like,
He's at the
yo,
bumble.
if you really think about it though, without KD and Kyrie,
They ain't no Nets.
there's really no big names on that whole fuck. If they playing each other, there's no big names there. None.
Nah.
Not one. I mean, there's good, decent young players or savvy veterans, but no big names.
Yeah, there's no superstars.
Not superstars, not even stars.
There's no stars
Bro,
out there.
Knicks
I don't think
need
there was
so
no
much
all-star.
help, man. Knicks need to sign someone big. Just this
They're
shit
in
ain't-
trouble, man.
They trying to get Drummond.
They
I
got
don't even
they
know
got to
if
get
that's
rid
the
of
answer.
what's the owner, Nolan?
Nolan, yeah.
They got to get rid of him.
Dolan.
Oh, Dolan, yeah.
Nolan, same shit.
He ain't selling
He got to
that shit.
sell and go.
You know why he never will? He makes bro. Knicks fans. This is why I say I don't dislike the Knicks. It's the fans that I dislike so much because they're delusional, bro. They every year they go into the playoffs. Every year this is our year.
Nah,
every
I stopped
signing.
that.
I'm like,
That
yo,
used
bro.
to be me, but now it's like, you know what?
I'm still holding on and shit. Like,
Yes.
yo, we got it this time.
I mean, I'm New York.
You gotta have faith, but
I'm New York to the death. You know what I'm saying? Knicks to the death, but I'm also fucking.
realistic.
Yeah, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it is.
That's
I ain't
all I
gonna say
expect,
lie to
man.
myself.
Yeah,
That's
nah,
all I
I lie to
So-
myself a lot.
A lot of Knicks fans do. I mean, I guess
Watch, they gonna push out this 30.
fuck
Yo,
no.
they gonna push out this 30.
I need that hundo.
Only because I'm not buying
Big
you no fucking
hundo.
seafood.
Yeah, big seafood. I'm gonna eat it right here too.
Chilling.
No doubt. We gonna do a whole episode with me eating my prize. Yeah, man. So
It's all right.
music, man. We going into a new decade. How you feel about hip hop going into this new decade? What do you think it's got in store for the next 10 years of hip hop? Being a hip hop artist yourself.
I think it's cool. I like. I don't knock anybody's hustle. So whatever kind of music you make, like
Yeah.
whether it's mumble, dance, rap,
Mhm.
hardcore rap, street shit, I get it. Not everyone's the same. You know what I'm saying? We all relate to different things.
Definitely.
So, and if you're a young kid and you getting your mother out the hood and buying her a house and all that, it's great.
Get it how you
I
live.
love it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love all kind of music. I don't even listen to hip hop, to be honest.
All the time.
Like, I'm listening to old school R&B and shit when I'm riding around.
Me too.
But I love all hip. The little kids are glorifying all these drugs and
Yeah.
they're overdosing and dying and they're depressed and they setting up worldwide tours and after the second show they quitting and
Quitting, yeah.
they left the whole tour. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. That's the shit I don't like.
do you feel that's gonna carry on into this new decade a lot, or do you feel like we're
I think
headed
so
for change?
until it gets back to the hip hop that not like the boom bap.
I know what you
when
mean.
it gets back to that and we have the majority, then it'll get back to what I'm saying, the way we want it.
I kind of agree because I feel like this era has to grow past that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the right now there's still kids that are in their teens that are so heavily influenced by that genre of hip hop that until they're in their later 20s, it's
But-
not gonna be gone. You know
But
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
it's gonna be too late because let's just say, I don't want to say any names, but
Yeah.
say an artist is talking about drugs and he's glorifying all these drugs and all that. He has millions of fans. All those little kids now are hooked on pills and all that. So he might grow and he might get help because he's worth 20 million and his team don't want him dead at Atlantic Records or Universal or wherever, Def Jam. So like,
But the
we're getting him to
ramifications
rehab.
from it,
But
yeah.
everyone else, the
But-
tens of millions of people that are hooked on pills,
They're stealing their grandmama's
Dog,
pills.
like for
their
example,
mama's
we
pills.
had I booked Lil Uzi like 2 years ago, and he had 2,000 sold out, beautiful show, super dope artist. He's like one of my favorite out of all the young
Yeah.
kids. Dog,
Cool dude,
The ambulance and fire department, they came 5 times to the concert to pick up little kids,
Oh, yeah.
15-year-old kids that were on pills that
Yeah.
collapsed. We sitting there helping little kids. I'm all I'm thinking is I'm not even a parent. I'm just thinking like,
What if?
yo, their parents
Yeah.
drop these little kids off to watch content. These kids are on the floor unconscious. I'm helping them. Me, my brother, we all helping these little kids up, bringing them to the ambulance. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I became like a fucking volunteer.
A chaperone and
EMS,
shit,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like,
that's
you know what I'm saying?
wild.
Yeah. And then the fire department's like, yo, if we get one more call, we have to shut the whole
this
thing
shit
down. It's
down, yeah.
over. Like, these little kids are damn near dead. But they all go in there taking pills to
yeah.
watch the art. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't just Uzi. I'm not just saying
No, but
every young artist that we bring over there, it's the same exact shit. The bar, they don't buy one drink. They all 15, 16s. They can't even buy a drink at the bar.
They
But
already
all
fucked
going
up
in
off
there
Xans
on
and all
wild
that.
Xanax and perks and all that. That's the shit I don't like.
That's
you know what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying is that not the artists when they grow up, meaning because some of them already are older than we give them credit for. Like we think some of these kids is teens and they fucking 24, 5 years old already. But the influence that they have, I think, is gonna by the middle of the decade, that's gonna be fading out more because the people that they're influencing now, what I was saying, that are teens now, will be getting into that age where they're in their 20s and maybe maturing past that. God willing, they maturing past that.
But
you know
it's
what I'm
also
saying?
you also got to realize that those addictions are hard to kick.
Big
you ain't
time.
just gonna kick a fucking Xanax or perk and then you taking 30s 5-6 times a day. Meek was in the interview. He said he was taking 10 a day, 10 30s a day.
I didn't even see that.
You know,
Yeah, me
with
neither.
Charlamagne,
That's crazy.
10 a day. Dog, people die off 10 a day. You can't take 10 30s a day.
You know
I can't
what?
take one.
Yeah.
You know what I think
Yo.
needs to happen too? This generation got to stop putting pacifiers in drug addicts' mouths because we keep making this, oh, it's poor baby, it's in the day. Start making them feel like dope heads again. Because when I was a kid, I never would have did none of that shit because I was like, you look down on the dope head.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
see a
fucking
crackhead.
dope head.
And
Yeah.
that's what I said. And they're glorifying.
They're glorifying it. So we got to make sure that we're not doing that where it's like stop babying them motherfuckers. Like make them feel, I'm not going to say names, but I know somebody who has a bad addiction and their peoples did that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, look. And they got mad when somebody made them feel like a dope. I say, yo, maybe that's what they need to feel. Because you don't want to feel ashamed of yourself. When you feel like you're doing something that's normal and it's not like morally wrong, there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying?
But
in your own head.
A lot of this generation, they try to flip. Like you could call them a crackhead and they're going to come back and be like, I'm a rich crackhead. And then embrace that.
But are they? Who is? Like these little kids are broke as shit.
Yeah. The rich crackheads overdose and die.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The rich crackheads is
Yeah,
no,
right.
seriously though, the ones that are fucking fiends that are rich, like it's those are the motherfuckers that they have the resources to get off this shit anyway. They got the money and all of that. They got, like you said, they got the labels behind them that would rather them get off of it so that they stay clean and make them more money. Not your fucking ass living with your grandmother and your mother till you're fucking 24 because you know. You not, they can't afford to get you off that. You know how much rehab insurance doesn't cover that.
No.
They don't even cover that shit.
Insurance sends you there for like a week,
That's
2
it.
weeks,
And
and
it's
send
out
you
of
back
pocket.
home.
That's it.
Everything else.
You know
out
what I'm
of pocket.
saying?
And while you're there, they're giving you other drugs.
I know people
to
that
ease you
spend
off of it.
15 grand to have their kid there for a month. 30 days, 15 grand. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even you that's feeling the ramifications for it too. It's your parents who are probably broke. They can't even scrounge it up.
Right,
They
borrowing
dipping
money.
into their 401k or getting money from lenders and got to pay money on VIGs and shit like
Just
that.
for the idea of
The
you
hope
getting
that
off,
you
the
get
hope
good.
you're
Yeah,
getting
the
off.
hope.
You know what I'm saying? And then you come out and you right back on the shit.
And if God forbid you pass, they the one that got to deal with that shit.
Yep.
Your
pay your
pain's
funeral,
gone.
yeah,
You know what I'm
So
saying?
now they got to pay the 15
Yep.
grand back, and now they got to get you a head
And deal with
stone and
losing
all this
a
other
kid.
shit.
Forget
Yep.
not just financially, but then
For the rest of their life.
the emotions
and
of
what
losing
could
a
they
kid.
have done better to help
Yeah.
you and this and that?
It's a domino
So,
effect.
yeah.
Nah, it's crazy, man. That's one thing that I hope going into the new decade. I do hope that it's not the music, it's that lifestyle that comes with the mumble rap, SoundCloud rap era. I have nothing against the music at all. It's the influence that it's had on young children with the drug culture. That I wish changes, bro. Cause
And then you see artists like, oh, for 2020, I'm off drugs. You're off drugs, but the 10 million people you gassed to take those drugs, they're not off the drugs.
Yeah.
So that's my whole. And the artist, it's cool to get clean and all that, but maybe now make a song or two about getting clean for everyone else, all your fans to get clean.
Yeah.
Something like that. Do
you know
something
what's another thing that I dislike about too? Is the excuses, right? But you don't know the trauma. Everybody from the hood faces trauma. We've all lost friends to murder. We've all lost friends to incarceration. We've all lost friends to fucking drugs, right? You know what I'm saying? So we've all faced this drama, like
everybody. That shit is almost normal to us.
yeah. So to me,
So
it's like that
it's just an
excuse is
excuse.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Like it's I get it, but it's like no, like that's what I mean about the pacifier. People they do that. They give them that yeah, you're right. What you going through is crazy. No, like this is life. Everybody goes through it, especially if you're from the ghetto. Like you can't self-medicate yourself to death and then be like, well, it wasn't my fault. Look what what I had to go through. It's still a choice. You know what I'm saying? It's still a choice. So I do hope that changes.
Griselda and them pushing through.
Yeah, they've done a big thing. It's funny. I was talking to my man about it yesterday because I fuck with them.
Those are my guys.
Yeah, I fuck with them, and we were saying, do we see? How big do we see them getting? And I was saying, like, honestly, they already eclipsed what people gave them a chance to
100%.
do. You know what I'm saying? Because people who make that type of music, right? So now, I'm not just talking street music, because there's different street music. A lot of people make street music, but it has a trap influence. This has no trap to it. It's boom bap influence. It's underground grime, right? That doesn't hit the mainstream.
At all.
They're in everybody's mouths right now. So they already eclipsed what anyone who's doing that.
They're doing all this with no radio.
With no radio. And they're not going to get records on the radio because they're going to say, that's what I was telling my man. I was like, are they going to get much bigger than this? I said, I don't know how much, but it doesn't matter because they already eclipsed whatever ceiling they were supposed to. And I said, secondly, for them to become like super mega stars without radio, they wouldn't do that because you know why? That would tarnish their brand. To start doing radio hits, they wouldn't do that.
They don't want all that.
They don't want that. They want it. They already do. They're one of the biggest artists to do that type of music. You know what I'm saying? Especially in recent memory. You know what I'm saying? We haven't had artists like we had. I'm not even gonna use like the Dips in them because they were kind of like with trap. That was trap basically back then.
And they were making big mainstream records.
That's what I mean. They were like how like the trap artists are now. Like then, like it just wasn't down south. They were up here in New York. But like, and G Unit was like that. D Block probably was like that back then, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
But they were also making records like
they were also making records, yeah.
And Kiss Your Ass Goodbye.
And even post Bad Boy shit, they were still making like P makes more traditional boom bappy like records, where Kiss still is more like kind of like that trap street shit. You know what I'm saying?
Street shit, but it could be an anthem.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit ain't no. It might be an anthem. It's a real hood.
It's
Griselda type.
It's just
anthem.
strictly boom bap.
But now they got people
2-bar
like
loops.
They got people like Drake talking about them.
Yeah.
Drake talking about he's ready to do a record with Benny. Like you know what I'm saying? And they're in the process of doing the record.
Drake, you just fucked that up for me too. I just want to throw that out there. You fuck. I don't know what his numbers just skyrocketed.
The price is going up.
Yeah, too much. But nah, dead ass. I'm happy for them. I do. I don't see like a lot of people think that's coming to the forefront again, and I don't think it is. I think it's coming back to the light where you can be sustainable. Because everybody's not going to blow like they are. Like, I think they're going to be the cream of the crop.
They stuck to their formula, and it worked, and it's organic. They're not trying to do anything different.
Nah.
They're not going to the studio and like, oh, let's try to make a hit record today.
Yo, and
we're going in there with spit. Half their shit don't even have hooks. And they don't want the hooks.
And you know what? You know what I appreciate? What I think helped them too, and this is no discredit at all because they deserve everything they got. Those are my homies. But I think them being from Buffalo even worked in their favor. Because I feel like Buffalo's so far from us down here that New York people wanted to root for them. Where if you would have came from the boroughs, people would have been hating on you so much. You know what I'm saying?
The fans, I feel like the fans want that. I feel like the industry though don't really care too much for Buffalo, and they have the same opinions on it, and they're mad about that. The fans are always trying to compare them to something else.
Well, I agree with that. The industry, because you being from Yonkers and me being from Yonkers, I feel like that. I feel like just being from Yonkers, they
think Yonkers is upstate.
Upstate, yeah. So the industry
like, were you that far away? I'm like that far.
Secondly,
we 8 minutes from the Bronx.
Yeah, that's right there.
Then mind you, we only so blow on a mainstream level. We had X and the Locks, right? As Sporty Thieves at a point in time. And Mary, R&B wise, but I meant just rapping, right? But all of them came out in the 90s. So on a mainstream level, we have people that sustain themselves independently and doing well. Shout out to all of those doing their thing. But on a mainstream level, so I feel like the industry already discredit, like there's nothing coming from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it hasn't had that mainstream success since the 90s. They gotta feel even worse because they had never had it. You know what I'm saying? Ever. Nothing came from Buffalo but them.
But the Bills.
Yeah.
And they ain't good.
And they lost 4 times in a row. You know what I'm saying? The big dance. But I mean, I do hope for a lot of the kids to get right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about the music to me. Like I said, I appreciate. It's funny because my man Joel, shout out to Joey P. He always be like, "Yo, you heard this?" And he be surprised when it's like, you know, because I'm like a lyrical guy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he's like, "Oh, you listen to that?" And I'm like, just because I make this type of music don't mean that I don't listen to that type of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like.
And if you in the clubs and they should go on, you're gonna be bobbing. Oh, this shit is knocking right. You have a drinking, but it's just if I'm taking that long trip, I want to listen to like Nipsey Hussle.
That's what I say.
Or, you know what I'm saying? I want to listen to something I can relate to a little more. I'm not gonna be playing wild trap club music and be taking a 2-hour ride somewhere.
Yeah, that's what I
don't do
say.
it on a 40-minute ride.
And we're all humans. We in different moods times. Like, there's times that I want to hear that grimy shit. There's times that I want to hear that thoughtful substance shit. And there's times that I want to hear that ignorant shit.
Remember I was telling you, I was like, it depends on what I'm doing or what I'm about to do before I even select certain shit.
Definitely.
So
it should be like that. We humans. All right, man. Well, we're gonna close up with one more. We always doing some shit, comparing something. We did Wade versus, who was it? T-Mac that time?
No, we did Wade versus AI.
That was a good one. We had some album talk. We did the Carter 2 versus Capital Punishment. So we asked Mox if he had a personal favorite album, and he brought it to the attention, one of his, and we want to compare and contrast on an all-time scale classic level. Life After Death from Notorious B.I.G. and All Eyes on Me from Machiavelli himself, Tupac. Both double albums, both widely considered classics across any hip-hop historian or fan. Personally, what do you... All right, before we say personally, right, on the grand scheme of things, which means taking our own feelings out of the equation, what do you think is a better album? You want to spark it up?
Well, you know, I wasn't the biggest Pac fan.
dude.
Yeah. So I'm gonna always say Biggie. I don't know, it was something about his stories that I enjoyed more than Pac's. So I'm gonna always go with Biggie.
But over in Life After Death though, that album specifically?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I gotta ride with Big.
Life After Death.
I have to. From like storytelling, I related to him more. Me, I love Tupac.
Yeah.
I love him to death. Like, he's super, super dope. I know every record he ever did. But just Biggie was just lyrically, I feel like he was better. I feel like he had more. I don't know about more character because Pac was like.
Yeah, he was very charismatic.
Yeah, but just everything about Big. To me, personally, that's my favorite rapper though. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm being a little biased.
Well, it's hard to take that away, and that was the album that you did talk about. So that's probably one of your, if not your favorite album of all time, right? I would have to go with Life After Death as the better album too. Unlike what you just said, I related to Pac more. I felt like his personality matched my personality a little more. But I did feel close to Big because he was New York.
Exactly. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Thing.
And like his
and you
life.
ask anyone on the West Coast, I feel like they're gonna say Pac.
Yeah.
But they're gonna have the same respect for Big the way we have
definitely,
respect for Pac.
definitely.
But they're gonna go with Pac.
I mean, they're both classic albums.
The locations, like the edge.
And to me, they're the two closest to compare for double albums because, first of all, I go with Life After Death because I feel like it's the best double album in hip hop history.
Yes, 100%.
And the reason why I would say All Eyes on Me is the only thing even to compare it to is because there are other greats that did doubles. Nas did Streets Disciple, Hove did Blueprint 2. And no disrespect to them, but they don't match up to the quality of Life After Death or All Eyes on Me, in my personal opinion. I think a lot of people would agree. The reason why I say Life After Death though, bro, is because as good as Big was on his first album, and I think Ready to Die is great, not to take anything away from it, he got so much lyrically better from Ready to Die to Life After Death. It's like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? He hit a huge jump in lyricism, and he already was a good lyricist, but for the jump was just amazing to me.
And he was 24, 25
yeah.
doing all this.
Yeah. And that's hard. For me, I think Life After Death is a better album than Ready to Die. Now, there's people that debate that. That's up for discussion, but that's not what we're
definitely
talking.
agree with you.
But me personally, I do.
1000%.
And I think it's very rare you find somebody that their second album was better than their first when their first was already
a classic.
considered like a
I
classic.
kind of feel the same way with Jay-Z. I feel like In My Lifetime Volume 1 is better than Reasonable Doubt.
See, you might be the minority there,
I know.
but
I like being the minority.
no, there's nothing wrong with that. I think In My Lifetime, I tell people this all the time. I think In My Lifetime, I would go Reasonable Doubt over it, but I think In My Lifetime is widely underrated
Yep.
because like Volume 2 got all the credit, but I feel like Jay was on a different level on Volume 1. Like he was, he was still riding that kind of Reasonable Doubt, but he also was in his own like.
I felt like he cleaned up a little, got a little more money, got the bag, but he kept the same energy as Reasonable Doubt. He was hungry. You could just feel it. You know, the whole album. He's hungry. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
But I feel like In My Lifetime, he transitioned and he just became a better lyricist to me personally. I mean, I don't know, and I just feel like I can relate more to those records.
Yeah, no, they both great albums. I mean,
Definitely both great.
We talking about all-time greats here, but I would have to side with the Life After Death as well. I just think it was peak big. What saddens me is I would love to see, because I feel like they both were hitting kind of their zenith when they were cut short. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if we're saying Life After Death is Big's best album to us out of the two, and even if you liked Ready to Die more, I think it's pretty clear that he was better as an MC during Life After Death time. And Pac was coming off of Machiavelli and All Eyes on Me, which were two back-to-back classics. And the album before that was considered a classic, which is Me Against the World. I think is his best work, personally. So, like, these dudes were cut in the middle of the 20s, like, 24, 25, like you said. I would love to see where they would have went.
I feel like if they would have still been here, a lot of this music wouldn't be around.
Quite possibly.
A lot of the mumble. I just think hip-hop would have went so far in the opposite direction that the mumble rap and all that would have been the minority right now. Like, you would have had maybe one or two artists that could do that.
But it's so hypothetical because people forget how long ago that was. That was really in the late 90s, 96 and 97, right?
Crazy.
So you think about it then.
20-some years.
Like, even if they were here, we don't know what they would have became in 2008, which would have been a decade later than that. They might have fell off.
They would have had.
They might have not, But
they would have had different artists that came up
under them. Yeah, they would have had
like,
a larger.
Like Big had the Locks with him at all times, recording in the same room. So, and then I just feel like Pac had the Outlaws, and he would have probably had other artists.
Oh, definitely.
And then Big Pun, the same with Big Pun.
Yeah.
I feel like he don't get enough credit. But
and then we don't know what would have branched off from it too, like you said, because maybe Big stays alive, the Locks Bad Boy thing don't fall apart. Maybe Big branches off, they run with it. You never know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're saying, you never know. And that's my thing is that we could always hope for that, but we have seen people's pens drop. It's hard to sustain that pen game for 20, 30 years. Yeah. And I would hope, like, obviously, these are legends. We don't want it to be like that, but I don't know where they would be in the 2008s and then 2012s and all of that other shit. But I would have loved to see where they would have went. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I guess we all in agreement here that Life After Death, I would choose that too, bro. I think that's the best double album of all time. It's incredible that you could put together that many.
With All Eyes on Me coming in second.
With All Eyes on Me in second, definitely, clearly.
Hard.
No doubt. Mox, you want to say anything for the people, man? Let them know what's up. I know you got a lot of shit going on right now.
Beautiful Struggle 2, out now. Download that, stream it, cop it, do whatever you got to do. We go on tour in March. I got the merch coming probably like next week or two. We shooting all 8 videos to the EP.
Nice.
So, just working.
Nice,
Part
man.
3 underway.
That's what it is, man.
Just working, man.
I ain't gonna lie, I want to salute you for that too, man. You one of the hardest working dudes I know.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for having me too, man.
I try to bust my ass with this shit, and I always appreciate anybody else that does, because it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers don't know how much work goes into just seeing money,
how much time,
effort, money, none of that.
I put a caption up like a couple weeks ago, like, this is the only job where you gotta pay. every hour, as opposed to getting paid every hour.
Yep.
Like, you're in the studio, we're paying to work.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, who does that?
Yep.
Like, no other job in the world, you have to pay to work.
It's literally a gamble. Every time you're doing anything, because you don't even see profit until you find a way to make profit off of it. And there's many people that never find a way to make profit. So that's why I say, if you have, you're doing the right thing, you figured out something, keep it going, and keep your foot on the gas, man. Like, learn from people, man. Learn from motherfuckers that work that hard, because you can do it, but it's never gonna be easy. Like, it's literally it's like owning your own business that you never clock out of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I tell people that all the time. Like, you even opening a small business, you get time off. When you're involved in the entertainment business, there's never a second off. Literally.
And people think that the record deal shit, it saves the world. That record deal shit there's no more. Nobody even cares about record
Not the
deals.
end all
Nobody
be all.
wants the record deals. I'm with the Locks in Rock Nation. Every time they have a meeting, I go up there. And they're doing all the work. And Hove is right there. They have Hove on speed dial. Hove is in the meetings with them, chilling, telling them their whole game plan. When they leave, them three have to put all the work in. You're going to have the nerds on the computers doing all that, management making some calls for you, but you three have to do all the work. And I'm watching them get told this.
Yeah.
And that's with every single artist. Meek is up there, Fat Joe, Jim Jones, everyone. Yo Gotti, they're doing all the work.
You got it.
We just don't see it. We just see all the cool shit they post on Instagram.
Yeah.
You don't see what goes on behind the scenes and how they bust their ass 24/7 and get that.
Yeah, that's the problem with anything, not just in music, just period, is that people are scared to work hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you're only gonna get what you put in anything. You know what I'm saying? You want to be a gangster, go put in work out there and be a gangster.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get that cred by just being around gangsters. I'll tell you that. So the same applies with music and anything else you want. Put the work in, man. We're gonna wrap, man. Mox, I appreciate you again.
Thank you, man.
Hope you make that chicken today.
Appreciate
whatever
you guys,
bet
man.
you
Thank
place.
you. Yes, sir.
Trap car, we here, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Get it.